You need to see this before May unfolds, because May 2025 is not just another month. It's a final test disguised as normal life. What you ignore now could be the reason you miss your next breakthrough. So stay till the end, because May doesn't move in a straight line. It spirals. And if you're not aware, you'll be repeating cycles that were meant to end. At first glance, May 2025 feels ordinary. The days move gently, people carry on as usual, and everything seems to hum along in peaceful rhythm. But don't be fooled, this calm is a cloak. A spiritual mist veils the deeper currents that are already stirring beneath the surface. Like a quiet before a cosmic storm, the stillness is not comfort, it's a setup. April wasn't inactive, it was intentional. It lulled you into reflection, stillness, and subtle observation. But that silence was never meant to last. It was the inhale before the exhale, the loading screen before the next level. And now, in May, the universe presses play. It brings confrontation, not to harm you, but to reroute you. Anything misaligned will start to feel unstable, uncomfortable, or impossible to ignore. This is the month where illusions start to fracture. The false stability you've been leaning on, it starts to shake. Relationships, routines, even your thoughts, everything begins to realign or unravel. The question isn't what's happening, it's what am I being shown? Because May's true gift is clarity through contrast. The mask drops, and what's behind it will change everything. On May 6th, something extraordinary happens in the heavens. Saturn reaches its equinox, and for a brief moment, its majestic rings disappear from our view. But this cosmic phenomenon is more than just astronomy. It's spiritual symbolism in motion. Saturn, the planet of structure, karma, and discipline, goes silent. Its hidden rings mirror a hidden question being asked of all of us. What are you building your life on? This moment is not loud, not dramatic. It doesn't come with flashing signs or external chaos. Instead, it moves like a sacred scan, quietly sweeping through your choices, your intentions, your alignment. Are you acting out of integrity, or are you chasing approval? Are your routines reflections of your soul, or rehearsals for validation? The energy doesn't punish, it reveals, and it reveals with surgical precision. This is the test no one else can see you taking. It's not about how you appear to others, but who you truly are when no one is watching. You won't pass or fail by effort, but by honesty. If you're aligned, you'll feel a strange calm, like a lock clicking open. But if you're pretending, things might subtly crack. Saturn's disappearance is a portal. The real question is, when everything familiar goes quiet, will your truth still stand? This full moon on May 12th doesn't arrive gently. It enters like a force. It doesn't ask for your reflections, it demands your accountability. Everything you claimed to want, every intention you set, every goal you envisioned is now under the moon's spotlight. And it won't wait for excuses. It simply asks, have you moved toward your truth or wandered away from it? This is a moon of reckoning. Old relationships that drained you, goals that were rooted in ego instead of soul, and distractions disguised as comfort, all of it faces judgment. Not in anger, but in urgency. The universe is clearing the space you didn't have the courage to release. Doors will close quickly, and if you resist, it might feel like loss. But if you surrender, it will feel like relief. Because in every ending this moon delivers, there's a flash of raw clarity, a knowing, a breath of alignment. The weight you've been dragging may suddenly fall away, not because you fought it, but because it's finally time. So when this moon rises, don't look for softness, look for freedom, because what leaves now was never meant to stay. By mid-May, something powerful begins to shift within you, not outside, but deep in your spirit. The gut feelings you used to second-guess now speak with clarity. What once felt like subtle intuition evolves into unmistakable inner direction. You'll find yourself sensing things before they happen, reading people without words, and feeling the truth long before it's proven. Dreams begin to transform into divine messages, carrying symbols, insights, even warnings wrapped in vivid emotion. And your emotional responses? They're no longer random. They become decoding tools, revealing what your mind can't yet grasp. When something is aligned, peace will flood your system. When it's false, your body will resist it. Hard. And the most profound part? You won't need reasons anymore. You'll just know. Like oil on water, lies, misalignment, and fake connections will rise to the surface, and they'll no longer blend into your energy field. May sharpens your compass not just to navigate life, but to feel your way forward with unwavering trust in your own inner truth. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for daily cosmic insights, astrology updates, and spiritual guidance, because the universe always has a message for you. May doesn't move in a straight emotional line. It swings like a pendulum. One day you'll feel completely exposed, as if your soul is standing on a stage, spotlighted and vulnerable. Everything you've buried, your truths, your fears, your deepest desires, gets pulled into the open. It's raw, it's confronting, and yet it's liberating, because there's no hiding in this energy, only revealing. But just as you begin to adjust to that level of emotional intensity, the universe shifts again. Suddenly, everything goes quiet. You'll feel a stillness so deep, it may feel like emptiness. That's not absence, it's a sacred pause, a test of your presence when no one else is watching. The silence isn't a void, it's a mirror, and what you see in it is your truest self. May 27's new moon is the peak of that silence. It won't shout, it won't nudge, it will just wait. Can you feel God when there's no music playing? Can you hold your faith when the signs go dark? This part of the journey isn't about proving anything to the world. It's about proving something to your spirit. When you sit in stillness and choose trust, that's when the real transformation begins. There's a quiet but radical shift happening in your mind this May, the end of the chase. You no longer feel drawn to what once had a magnetic pull over you. The thrill of pursuit, the obsession with outcomes, the hunger for validation, it all starts to lose its flavor. Because something deeper has awakened. You're no longer chasing, you're remembering. You're reclaiming what was always yours by soul, not by struggle. Desire no longer comes from lack, it comes from alignment. You don't want it because it's shiny. You want it because it fits, because it resonates. You begin to know instead of want. You stop running after signs and start listening to your own energy. There's a shift from doing to being, from scripting your future to sensing it in your body before your mind even catches up. What's no longer aligned simply falls flat. No drama, no breakdown, just disinterest. You'll walk away without needing closure because your frequency has outgrown the game. This mental recalibration makes you magnetic in a new way, not because you're trying harder, but because you're finally tuned in. From now on, truth won't need proof. You'll feel it the moment it arrives. May 28th holds a rare and sacred energy, a soft alignment between Jupiter and the Moon. But don't expect fireworks. This isn't the kind of shift that announces itself with drama or urgency. It comes as a whisper, a gentle nudge, a passing thought that feels unusually right. Only those who are grounded, still, and fully present will catch it. But those who do will be forever changed. This divine moment is like a cosmic compass quietly clicking into place. You may receive a sudden idea, a subtle insight, or a feeling that you're exactly where you need to be. It won't make sense right away, but it won't need to. If you trust the energy, if you lean into that subtle knowing, it has the power to pivot your entire trajectory. This is destiny speaking in the language of silence. But here's the truth. If you're distracted, if you're caught in noise or expectation, you might miss it. It's that quick, that quiet, that sacred. But if you tune in, if you pause and truly listen, you'll feel something unlock inside of you. And that one alignment? It could realign everything else for the rest of the year. The whisper is coming. Will you be still enough to hear it? By the end of May, you'll look at certain people, places, and patterns and realize they just don't hit the same. The old triggers, the ones that used to unravel you, they lose their grip. But it's not because you've ignored or buried them. It's because you've evolved. Your frequency has shifted, and what once matched your wounds no longer matches your energy. It's a quiet kind of freedom. You don't have to cut cords or make dramatic exits. The detachment happens naturally, like drifting away from an outdated version of yourself. You start to recognize what drains you, not with judgment, but with clarity. And when you see it clearly, you stop feeding it. Not out of anger, but because you simply don't resonate anymore. This is what growth really looks like. Not a fight, but a rise. You vibrate higher, and the noise below just can't reach you. You stop reacting not because you've hardened, but because you've healed. And as your inner world expands, your outer reality begins to reflect that peace. What once kept you stuck now feels distant. You're not running from the past, you're just no longer available for it. On May 6th, as Saturn vanishes into its equinox shadow, something else quietly showers the Earth, the Aquareyed Meteor's high-frequency dust. It's not just a spectacle in the sky, it's a subtle cosmic infusion, a vibrational mist settling into our atmosphere and into you. This energy doesn't hit with force. It seeps into your dreams, shifts your mood, bends your sense of time. You might feel oddly spaced out, overly emotional, or deeply reflective without knowing why. But here's the secret. That strange longing, that ache for something or somewhere you can't quite name, it's real. The residue from this meteor holds encoded memory, not just from stars, but from you. Past lives, soul missions, divine timelines, all buried in your DNA, begin to stir. You're not just being moved by the cosmos, you're being activated by it. This isn't imagination, it's soul memory waking up. The veil is thin, and your spirit feels it. May 6th becomes a portal, not through action, but through sensation. If you feel disoriented or deeply nostalgic that day, honor it. Rest. Reflect. Because the universe isn't just sending debris, it's sending reminders. And through that stardust, you're remembering who you were and who you were always meant to become. May doesn't unfold in a straight line, it spirals. What you expected to happen won't, and what you didn't prepare for might become the breakthrough. This is not a month to rely on logic or timelines. It bends the rules, reroutes your plans, and drops divine detours exactly when you think you've figured it all out. Certainty will disappoint you. But intuition? It'll be your only compass. The real test now isn't about planning perfectly. It's about surrendering completely. Let go of the map. Trust the magnet inside. Mark these dates: May 6th, May 12th, May 27th, and May 28th. They aren't just cosmic events. They're checkpoints for your soul's evolution. This journey isn't about controlling outcomes. It's about recognizing that you're being recalibrated, not punished. Energetic loops are breaking, not because you've fought harder, but because you've grown beyond them. If you already feel this shift in your bones, drop a "I'm shifting" in the comments. Like this video to anchor the energy. Subscribe to stay aligned, and turn on the bell, because May 2025 isn't just a month. It's a new timeline, and it has already begun.